Gen Z is inheriting a world where, for far too long, adults have made terrible choices about our planet and our future. But rather than just giving up as a generation, Gen Z has chosen to be agents of change, champions of innovation, and even leaders in this new era of green entrepreneurship. Rather than standing on the sidelines and just watching the planet burn, Gen Z knows that the only hope for the survival of future generations is for someone to stand up for them. Although they don't have a voice, but Gen Z is here to be that voice, to speak up when others refuse to listen, to innovate when others tell us it's not worth it, or to stand up when others just want us to sit down and shut up. Oh, we won't. From Greta Thunberg to those of us creating businesses to make this world a better place, Gen Z will not stand on the sidelines and watch the planet burn. That is why we're filled with entrepreneurs. We believe Gen Z is the most entrepreneurial generation in history, with over 90% of us already taking steps to start a business. And out of that 90%, 80% of us have started businesses for the purpose of making this world a better place. We want our lives to stand for something, to mean something. That is why we're so entrepreneurial. We believe our communities are vital to our well-being, and we've grown up building things, be it from the content creation on the social media to like taking part in our school projects and doing competitions. We've learned how to build things without even realizing that's what we've been doing in the first place. Being an entrepreneur, it's part of us. It's like second nature to us. Being an entrepreneur isn't really as scary as some of the older generations who are used to working for someone else's. Instead, the entrepreneurial spirit, it's just part of us. We live, we integrate, we innovate, you name it. I want you to imagine this. We don't know a time without technology. Our phones and our laptops are like extensions of ourselves. But we're also deeply concerned about the environment. Whenever surveyed, Gen Z ranks the environment as their number one top priority. Although some of the older generations might not understand this, they simply can't understand the why. But I'm here to tell you that why. We know actions have consequences, and however we've been treating the planet has only one kind of ending, the kind of ending you typically see in those apocalyptic movies where the planet is about to blow up. Only this time, we have a choice, and Gen Z is choosing to fight. Fight for our environments, fight for our communities, and fight for the right of future generations to even exist. So, what are Gen Z green entrepreneurs even doing now? Well, during the COVID-19 pandemic, when I started my business, I did it because I wanted to make a difference and also help the environment. And of course, like many others, I hope to make some money. But that wasn't the goal. And this is just the bottom line for green entrepreneurs. They put the planet ahead of profits. So, when I created my gifting platform for green products, I did it so that then people could send a gift to someone else. The senders could send a gift to someone else, and the recipient could choose it. And that was it. But the gifts were sustainable. And I took something as simple as your gift giving to be a problem solved with green entrepreneurship. But it's not just me. It's Gen Zers all over the world. A Gen Zer by the name of Adoa Darko started selling some of her unwanted clothes online for the peer-to-peer resale, creating Mimi's World. Another good example are two startup founders, Nadia Okamoto and Nick Jane, who created plastic-free period products for women. And well, both of these companies are doing successful and thriving. We do this because we're values driven. But I'm not talking about the kind of values that are typically used to destroy the planet and making ourselves rich. No, our values are more community based. We care just as much about the person who lives right next door as we do about the person who lives on the other side of the world. We care about their well-being, and we're even willing to fight for someone we've probably never met. Our values require us to think more globally. And when you combine our values with our passion to create or build, well then, Gen Z will be the next generation who build some of the most successful businesses to tackle the world's biggest problems. This is why we advocate for systemic change. We know racial justice is connected to environmental justice. We also know that policy changes are just as important as some of our personal choices. Because we know that, although we are young, no one will advocate for us. We ourselves have to be the change makers, and we're doing it through green entrepreneurship. Green entrepreneurship places the planet ahead of profits and rejects the idea that our communities only matter to us because of the profits we make. Instead, green entrepreneurship asks this question: how am I making a world for future generations? Let me repeat. How am I making a world for future generations? This is what development over destruction looks like. We are determined to lead the way on green entrepreneurship. We do this because we know we have the power to change the world because we dare to imagine. We imagine a world different from what we have today. We imagine a world where humans can thrive just as much about the people who live in them. We imagine a world where humans care just as much about the bank account, where humans care just as much about the people who live on the other side of the world as they do in their own family. So join us, join Gen Z on this amazing journey, and help us collectively build a future that we can be proud to pass on to future generations, where green entrepreneurship isn't a choice, but more like a necessity, a way of life, where sustainability is not an option, but a big necessity, and where hope for a better tomorrow is like our guiding light. Thank you.